So we just watched the video that is on Jostin's website. It is in the digital classroom and it deals with the feature writing. So that is something that you can watch and I will share that with you. We're now looking at the qualities of a good story and I will have these papers for you. Let me pass these out, please. All right, so whenever you're reporting a story about a real person, don't focus on things that are obvious. You want to get behind the scenes. You want to get not quite under their skin, but kind of under their skin, where you're going to find out facts or stories that not everybody knows. And you need to have people who are going to be interested in hearing that and reading about that, or that people who are interesting to read about. So, remember the fact that you are journalists. You're not just kids. You have stepped up to another level. You are the people who are responsible for writing the history of our school and the history of this year. So you want to make sure that you're focusing on that. I'm not going to read all of this part, but a good story, first and foremost, you're telling something that you don't already know. You are going to reveal the humanity, the personality of what is there. Now, Kirsten, you had the question of how do you do it so that you're not focusing on only one student. The story that was shown on there, it started with the one person. It kind of gave her background a little bit, told a little bit of her story, and then connected her to other people who have the same kind of story. So even though it's a smaller group of people that you're discussing, they have an interesting story to tell. If you have somebody who is working a part-time job, who has AP classes and is doing sports, how do they manage that? And then you can have somebody who's on work co-op. What is it about work co-op that really engages you in being in this program? This year, we have the JLG program. So talk to the different people who are in that program. You're going to get a different story from all of them, probably, but their connecting thread is the fact that they're being paid to go to school to learn how to weld, and they are going to get a job once they graduate. So, I mean, that's just a great program. How are they receiving it? What did they have to go through to get into the program? But talk to at least 3 people about it so that you are breaking through and getting the story from different perspectives. And that's the other thing. If you are the one we watched, it was focused on AP classes, but then I think it brought in 3 or 4 different people. Okay. Capture power for a moment. So if there is something that is incredibly wow that is happening, and that's where you have to reach out. You have to be sleuths, where you're going to try to find the story. So it can't just be the surface kind of story that you're looking at. Just like the pictures you're taking, it can't just be from the doorway. You have to go in and get up close and personal. You're doing the same thing with these, and that is going to make some of you get out of your comfort zone. And it may be scary at first, but whenever you find a person who is really passionate about something they're doing, they love to talk about it. And whenever you get their story, you barely have to write anything. You're just doing the transitions and using their quotes and making their quotes become the story that they want to tell. Appeals to emotions and senses. This is a little bit difficult because, we're not supposed to be editorializing. We're not supposed to be giving our opinion. We're not giving our opinion. We're giving the person's opinion. We're giving their voice. You are connecting it with the same kind of tone that they have without being opinionated about it. So you're just laying it out there. You're almost like a counselor where you're telling their story. Okay, so this is what I heard. This is the background information that maybe I need to fill in to make sure that those quotes make sense. On the back of here, you have the formula. So the lead, a quote, transition, And you can do that quote transition, quote transition, quote transition as many times as you need to until you can get to the conclusion. So common types of yearbook writing, it has these listed here for you. So make sure that you are looking at the different options. They don't all have to be features. I liked the idea that they did those 100-word, and you can do that. That's how you can get several different stories onto one spread, because if you break it down to 100 words, which really is not that much, do this person, and then we can put it together in a cool template type of thing. The next thing you are doing, so that's like how you get to the story, but what I want you to do is there is a feature story. I'm sharing it with her right there. There. Feature story assignment. So what you're going to be doing is, this is a feature story. I want you to go down and you are going to label each part of it. What is the lead, the quote, the transition, the conclusion? On the back of this then is a rubric. So this is a published feature article. I want you to see how it's written. I want you to dissect it. So label it on the front, and then I want you to grade it on the back. This is going to be an example that you can see, is it well written, is it not well written, and what can I do to improve upon my writing? Okay, questions about that? Whenever we are finished with this, what I want you to do is think about your page spreads, talk to your partner, figure out what it is that you want to do. How do you want to tell the stories? Do you want to talk to several individuals and do individual stories? Do you want to do one feature story? Do you want questions and answers? Do you need to create Google Forms to send out to a specific group of students so that you can get input on what they want to hear? Any questions about that? Okay.